Yeah, hey, great way to start the week. Early morning ride heading to the shop, and I'm gonna finish up today a new bike, the Factor LS, their gravel lightweight bike. So I'll meet you there. All right, so this is the project for today. It's the Factor LS. It's their lightweight gravel bike. Factor also does the Ostro Gravel. It's a more aerodynamic race gravel. This is their lighter version, like the O2 for the road. Light gravel bike. I'll talk a little bit more about the geometry more into the end of the video, but it's a pretty frame. It's a pearlized green, and it has the Factor logo here and the mini logos here on the back. So depending on how the light shines, it really shines up, it stands up. So it's a pretty frame. And as you can see, it's a 1x. We're gonna put a SRAM Rival E-Tap. It's like pre-built, it's not completely built. You still have to do some cutting, put the cables in the bars. And so it requires a little bit more of a build to finish this bike. And we're gonna put on the back wheel, the cassette. This is a 1044. I don't think you need that much of a big cassette here for Florida because gravel here is pretty flat, but if you have any punchy hills, this will come in handy. So pretty big cassette bar as always. With the Factors, we put their black ink bar stem, carbon, really aero, slick, light. Love these bars. For the wheels, we're gonna put a Fulcrum. It already comes with a tubeless setup, everything ready. We just need to add some sealant and air, and it will be ready to roll. So for your enjoyment, let's finish up this bike. This is a pretty nice bike, huh? Did you see the colors when I put the lights and filmed the bike? How the frame stood out with this green? And actually Factor does a great job painting their bikes. I think they do a great job painting it. And the frames, they really stand out. And I think, you know, we're not buying a house. I know bikes are expensive, but they should be colorful. They should be bold on their paint jobs, and I think they should be shiny. And I enjoy more and more seeing bikes that are really colorful, and Factor does a great job with that. So the geometry of this bike is actually very similar to the O2, the Factor O2, not the O2 van, but the O2. The seat stay is a little lower, so you have a little bit more comfort. It should handle better on the gravel. And one thing I noticed compared to other bikes is that this bike has a pretty wide wheelbase. The rear axle from the front axle is pretty wide, plus the fork has a pretty positive angle, making this bike really stable, should be really stable, should ride really smooth. So I think it's great endurance bike if you're riding on gravel for long hours, for long stretches. I think this bike will handle very, very good, very stable, very predictable. So I think this is an amazing bike for an endurance gravel bike. And then also if you're looking for comfort, I always say about going tubeless. That makes a lot of difference. But lately, I did ride some bikes with the regular aluminum bar stem, and it really does make a difference, especially on the shaky gravel. You really do feel the vibration when you're riding on aluminum bars. So if you're looking for comfort, I would definitely look into like this Black Ink bar stem carbon. It really absorbs and makes the ride much more comfortable, and your hands, they feel much better holding a flatter bar, and that's carbon. So that helps a lot. And if you're riding gravel, I think it's all about comfort. It's all about riding comfortably, even if in the worst terrains, in the worst gravels. All you can do is, of course, having a good geometry bike, carbon wheels. These are aluminum. If you can upgrade to carbon, I think that's a great upgrade. Of course, going tubeless, and the bars having carbon, being carbon. As I showed earlier, it is a pretty huge cassette, and you can even go you can add a front derailleur if you want to, but many times for gravel, this is more than enough gears to ride on gravel. This bike is a 54, and they claim it's 850 grams. So it's not the lightest bike, but it's not heavy at all. It's a pretty good weight bike. So this bike must be very fast, very comfortable, ride really well on gravel, and whoever rides on this is gonna enjoy it a lot. So yeah, really enjoyed building this one. It took me a little longer today. The shop was pretty busy, and so I wanted to talk to a few people. I had to stop recording and record and build at the same time. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but it's lots of fun. I know you guys enjoy. I love watching bike builds. It is very satisfying when you love bikes to see a bike being built, and hopefully I can bring much more bikes into the channel and share it with you guys. So that's it for today. As always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride experience. Ciao.